A $7 billion merger could be about to rock the RV industry, and it's going to change how you buy, repair, and even live in your rig forever. Lippert and Patrick Industries are looking to join forces, and today we're breaking down what this vertical integration could actually mean for your wallet at the campsite. Hey Ramblers, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Steve. My wife Rose and I, we're full-time RVers, and we're sharing what we learn on the road so you don't have to figure it all out the hard way. Now, we're filming this week from the gorgeous Ridge Outdoors in Sevierville, Tennessee. We're out here for the Grand Design Tennessee Rally, and honestly, it looks like it's going to be an incredible time. We'll have a full campground review and rally highlights coming up your way real soon. But today, we got to talk about something that has the entire RV industry buzzing right now. So let's get into it. All right, so to understand why this is such a big deal, you got to know who we're talking about here. First up, LCI Industries, better known as Lippert. I'm sure you've all heard of that name, whether you wanted to or not. These guys are the big guys. They make the chassis, the axles, the slide out mechanisms, your leveling system, and so on. If your RV moves, stops, or stays level, there's a real good chance Lippert had a hand in it. Then you've got Patrick Industries. They're the interior specialists. Panels, cabinets, countertops, lighting, fiberglass, the stuff you actually see and touch every single day you're living in your RP. Now, here's where it gets wild, all right? Together, these two companies represent $7 billion in annual revenue. That's right, 7 billion with a B, 9 zeros. If these companies merge, we're talking about one combined company that could potentially build the entire frame and everything that goes on top of it. That's a level of vertical integration this industry has never ever seen before. Okay, so you might be asking, why would they do this? Well, on paper, there are some legitimate reasons that this could be a really good thing. Number one, better integration. Right now, an RV manufacturer like Grand Design, for instance, it's juggling parts from dozens of different vendors. If LCI and Patrick merged, they could offer kind of a total package solution. And here's the part that actually gets a little bit exciting. Imagine your leveling system or your slide outs or interior lighting, all designed from day one to work together on seamless platforms. No more fighting between systems that don't want to talk to each other correctly. That could be an absolute game changer for the end result. And number two, supply chain stability. We all remember the parts nightmare of 2021. It was brutal. I'm sure a lot of you can remember how difficult it was to get a rig back then, but do you remember why? We saw supply chain collapse so severe that manufacturers were literally putting half-finished coaches on parts holds for up to 6 months at a time. It got so desperate that some of the brands actually sent teams out to local big box hardware stores. They were clearing out aisles, buying up residential refrigerators, on-demand water heaters, and whatever off-the-shelf components they could just to get those units out the door. It was a chaotic Wild West approach to building RVs because nobody had control over the components. So that's one of the arguments for the $7 billion merger, that it prevents that chaos by owning the entire process from the chassis to the kitchen sink. Lippert and Patrick claim they can guarantee stability. But the question remains, does that stability come at the cost of us having the ability to choose and the price that we're going to pay at the dealership? A company this size has massive buying power for aluminum, wood, and all the raw materials, and that could mean fewer production delays and more consistent quality coming out of Elkhart. Then let's talk about number three, innovation. You pool their R&D budgets together and suddenly you've got a lot more money going towards what I'd call the smart RV of the future. Lighter materials for better fuel economy, improved battery integration as we start moving toward more electric capable rigs. And those are things we're all going to care about. So yeah, on paper, the upside is real. But let's keep it real because there are some serious concerns here too. The big one, this gets into monopoly territory. When two giants like this become one, where does the competition go? If you're a smaller independent builder and LCI Patrick decides to raise prices, what are your options? You're kind of stuck. And that kind of dominance could absolutely squeeze out smaller independent parts makers who just can't compete at that scale. Which brings us to the big question. How does a $7 billion deal like this even get approved? Well, that's where the FTC or the Federal Trade Commission comes in. Now, usually the FTC, they stay out of the way unless they see a substantial lessening of competition. But in the RV world, we're entering uncharted territory. So if Lippert and Patrick Industries become one, the government has to look at whether other smaller suppliers can even survive. We've seen this in other industries, like the government stepping in during the big airliner or grocery store mergers. They look at whether a merger creates a barrier to entry. Essentially, if a new innovative company wants to start making better RV windows, let's say, or sturdier chassis, would they even be able to get their foot in the door if one giant company owns the entire supply chain? Well, the FTC's job isn't to protect the companies, it's supposed to protect you and me, the consumer, from having only one choice at one price. If they decide that this merger creates a monopoly on the parts that go into 90% of the rigs on the road, they could put a stop payment on that $7 billion deal before the ink is even dry. And that leads us back to what this really means for the person sitting at the campsite right now. And second to that, and this one hits closest to home, price hikes. RV prices are already at record highs, y'all. We've all felt it. If there's no competitive pressure keeping parts costs in check, that increase gets passed straight to us at the dealerships. And that's a real problem for anyone shopping for a new rig, or even getting repairs done. And thirdly, this one's a little more subtle, but it matters, homogenization. Do we really want every RV to look and feel exactly the same? If everybody's running the same Patrick cabinets on the same LCI frame, we might start losing that character, that unique feel that makes different brands feel different from each other. I don't want this industry to become a one-size-fits-all situation, and I don't think most of y'all do either. Now, this isn't a done deal, not even close, but these two companies control such a massive share of the market, the FTC or the Federal Trade Commission, they're going to be watching this one very closely. The question they'll be asking is simple. Does this merger ultimately hurt the consumer? So if the government decides this creates too much of a monopoly in Elkhart, they could block it outright or force the companies to sell off certain divisions before anything moves forward. This is being called a merger of equals. It means it's a partnership, not a hostile takeover. But for the person at the campsite just trying to get your slide out to work, what it really means is that the industry is being handed to fewer and fewer very powerful players. So here's where we land on this. We're not here to tell you definitively if this is good or bad, because honestly, it depends on how it all shakes out. The efficiency and the innovation upside is real, but so is the risk of less competition, higher prices, and a more cookie-cutter industry. What we really want to know is, what do you think about it? Are you worried about prices going up, or do you think better integration is worth the trade-off? Drop your comments in the comment section below. We read every single one, and this is exactly the kind of real talk that we love having with you ramblers. And hey, if you want to follow along with everything that's happening here at the Grand Design Rally in Tennessee and our full tour of the Ridge Outdoors, hit that subscribe button because that's coming real soon. And smash the like button if you found this video helpful. And please feel free to share this with your fellow RVers who need to know about this. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next week.